Hi guys, so it's been a while since I've done a video at all, and this is kind of ironic because the last video I uploaded, I believe, was about how not to get pregnant. So some things have changed. The reason that I did that video was because I knew how to get pregnant. So for all of you lovely guys and girls out there trying to conceive, I decided to do this video to let you know how to get pregnant. And if you can see in the background here, I am stocked up. Gotta get my fingering together on baby stuff. So I am about to be 8 months pregnant. So I know what I'm talking about. Um, so first and foremost, for all of you that are trying, I wish you the best. I am not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form. Just done a lot of research, and I have the proof, as you can see, that it works. So just a lot of research over time, a lot of knowing my body, and a lot of knowing how females' bodies work. I can tell you that this method at least worked for me. So first and foremost, we're going to go with the ladies because a lot of it has to do with our bodies. I would definitely start off with just a basic checkup at the doctor's office, the OBGYN, making sure everything is right, getting checked for any and all STDs. And I'm sure, sidebar, I'm going to do another video about all the stuff they did not tell you about being pregnant, or people will forget to tell you about being pregnant because it's been fun. But go get checked with your doctor. Make sure your pH balance is right. Make sure you don't have any infections, whether that be bacterial, yeast, whatever the case may be. And what you want to do first and foremost is take a calendar, and maybe you can do this the first month, or if you're not that familiar with your body, I would say take your time and maybe chart back for 2 months until you actually try to conceive. Now, if you're fine at the doctor, everything's okay, I'm going to tell you to do something that might seem a little strange. And I know a lot of women are going to be like, yeah, right. But if you haven't been using condoms, even if you're married, go back to using condoms, especially ones that are not going to cause you any issues. Some women are allergic to latex, and then the friction happens, and that can let you know that if it's not as smooth or you're irritated, that you're allergic. The reason that I say this is because you don't want to throw the pH balance off once you come back from the doctor. So you want to keep it, kind of clear and free and of any of his bodily oils or whatever until you're ready to actually try to make this baby. And I know people think constant sex is the way to go, and I can't fully go with that method. I think strategic sex is a little more likely the way to go, because constant sex, especially if he's ejaculating into you, can throw your pH balance off and therefore make it a little harder for you to conceive, because your body just starts to kind of fight off so much sperm. pH balance is thrown off, a lot happens. Anyway, so what you want to do is for 2 months back, or if you want to go just a month before the month you're trying to try, what you want to do is calculate the week of your period. Now, a lot of women who do not have regular menstrual cycles, this may be a little harder for you. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have ovulation signs or hormonal change signs, or that you just can't get pregnant at all. So don't give up. Let's just try this first. So about a week after your period, and if you don't have your period, what you want to do is chart just when you feel kind of these same signs or symptoms, okay? So a week after your period, you'll have your period, so you have your 5 to 7 day cycle for the most part. And then a week after that, kind of have a free and clear week for the most part. Towards the end of that week, you'll end up having kind of some changes. Maybe you'll feel fatigued. Maybe you will feel kind of a splash coming from your vagina here. What's that? That's actually your body getting ready to ovulate. So you probably get about one free and clear month, or free and clear week, a month. So after your period, you have kind of 1 week off from any changes up and down, your body's cleansing, and then you go into your ovulation week. So some women experience this splash, kind of this really liquidy discharge. And then what will happen is that your ovaries will be getting ready to release an egg. And a lot of women actually with that splash think that they're having a yeast infection or bacterial infection repeatedly every single month, and that's not the case. Sometimes your pH balance just changes slightly because you're ovulating. So if you have that kind of liquidy discharge, white, kind of watery. Don't rush and decide that you just have a yeast infection and you need to go back some cream. This is actually a natural sign that you're about to ovulate. After that, what happens is your ovary gets ready to release the egg, and first comes out what I like to refer to as egg whites. It's this white, thick, mucusy, really stringy discharge, which looks like egg white, and that comes out of your ovary before your egg is released. So when you see the egg white, that's about the time that you want to start having sex. That's when it's go time. And I actually had sex consistently for about 3 days to make sure that at go time we were ready. Also, a lot of women experience a dull pain on either side because you can alternate sides for ovulation. So pain over here, pain over there, dull, heavy. Mine were really harsh and heavy ever since I was 11. I actually went to the hospital for the first time at 11 because I experienced the pain. I had no idea what was going on. So I ovulate with that pain, and that's when I know for sure it's go time. So some women, if you're looking for signs or symptoms when you see kind of that yolky egg white, that's letting you know your egg is about to be released. If you have pain, wait until it kind of dulls down a little bit. An egg is good for about 24 to 48 hours before it starts to break down. It's no good. So a lot of women who've been trying to have sex, you have that 24 or 48 hour window before your egg is pretty much breaking down and is not as good as it is within that period. So people say, I have sex all the time, we're not getting pregnant. That's about the time that you have to get pregnant. After that, the egg breaks down. Sperm can be there, it just won't necessarily fertilize the egg. Excuse me. So, why I say chart your period or your symptoms 2 months back, for a lot of women that don't have regular periods, you want to see when your body goes through those changes. So you want to know the solid dates and have 2 months of documented paperwork to say, okay, on this date I felt the splash, on this date I felt the pain, on this date I was really, really tired before all of it. Me, I get very fatigued before I ovulate. So I knew that it's about to occur. I get like this kind of warm, most women run a fever, get this warm kind of halo over my head, my eyes get heavy. So that's when I know. Now, guys, you want to make sure you're eating healthy, you're eating properly, a lot of fruits and vegetables, a little less alcohol, and you're wearing loose boxers just to make sure they're breathing down there, and that you are not basically warming your testicles up so much that you're kind of killing off your number of sperm. You want them at a decent temperature. So once all of that is done, I also recommend you going to get checked out and making sure that you're good and checking my hair. You're good and you're healthy and no bacterial infections, because guys can get them too. No yeast infections, because guys can have more yeast in their shaft. You just make sure you do the check and make sure everything's good. And also, be careful of what you're washing with. I was having a lot of issues with an ex one time, and not only was he washing with a different type of soap, I didn't know that he was like dousing himself in powder, and that was causing a lot of reaction for me that I had to deal with constantly. We couldn't figure out what the problem was, because he's like, well, I'm not doing anything abnormal, but that is a big deal. So I would recommend you both washing with the same type of soap. I use Dove unscented, nothing else. You're not lubing, lotioning, anything, just Dove unscented, drying really, really well, so that you guys have kind of the same pH balance going on, and one's not, putting something on more than the other. And ladies, it's even coming out with OBGYNs now that you shouldn't even use soap, just water, rinse it off. I personally am just pro soap. But non-scented Dove is what I use, and whatever floats your boat, whatever you agree upon. But just think that your penis is going in her vagina, so whatever you're putting on your penis, you're shoving up in there. So you want to be on the same page about what you are and aren't doing. Now, the sex part, here's the fun part. When you know it's that time and you know you're ovulating, men's sperm live up to 5 days for the most part, 5-6 days. Let's go with 5 just to be safe. So if you felt yourself, maybe you had the fever or you felt the splash, and maybe that's when you want to start your go time. When you see that egg white, that's your go. Even if you don't have the pain when your discharge gets really thick and that mucousy kind of stringy egg white consistency, that's your cue to go. So go ahead, have sex, have lots of it. Here's the trick, if there can be a trick. Have him come first. I know that this is something that is not really a mindset to do or something that you think to do when you get pregnant, but there is a little part, I'm trying to get this camera, in the back of your vagina, and then your cervix sits there. So there's like a little pool. He ejaculates, the sperm sits in the pool. When you orgasm, your cervix is going to dip down into that little pool. So if he can come first, or if you guys come at the same time, your cervix dips down from your orgasm and picks up a little hole right there, picks up the sperm, and then helps it to go into your uterus and or to meet your egg. Let's just make it simple. So that's what I did. And of course, round 2 was my turn. So that made sure, and I also laid on my back, put my legs up, did all of that. Round 2 was me making sure everything was sucked on up and pushed in. And literally I conceived maybe in like the next 9 hours because the egg was still traveling. There can be implantation cramping, so after you do this, if you like have cramps out of the blue, you may be pregnant. It might be that quick and that easy if your timing's good. I didn't think that it would happen that fast, but it did. But the implantation cramping was interesting. Feels like menstrual cramps, but I was hot, I was sweating. It was really, really weird. and just the normal things that I do to get rid of my menstrual cramps didn't help. So I ended up finding out later that is what implantation cramps feel like. And that's when the sperm met the egg, and then the egg travels and then implants into your uterus lining. So many fun things they don't tell you about pregnancy. I hope this helps someone, or someone is trying to get pregnant, but that is how you do it. So you just want to look for those signs, keep track of those symptoms, the fever, the kind of liquidy white discharge splash, the thick white egg white. And if you do feel pain once a month, that is definitely can be you ovulating. Just pay attention to which side it's on. Also, I feel heat on my front and my back when I ovulate, so that's another sign. And he was very good about even telling me when I ovulated, so I had a little help even though I knew. So you just want to keep track of those things. And if you're trying not to get pregnant, then those are the times that you want to stay away from unprotected sex. So use a condom up until the time that you're ready, just to make sure everybody's pH balance is still on track after those doctor's visits. Get tested, make sure everything's good, treated, handled, all that fun stuff, and then go from there. So good luck. You guys just let me know how this goes. And for anyone out there who is having trouble conceiving, I do recommend, or even carrying, I do recommend acupuncture. I think that it is wonderful. It helped me out in the beginning of my pregnancy with my migraines, and I do feel that there are different ways to help you have a healthy, happy pregnancy. And I wish you all the best of luck. So just leave me comments. Let me know if this works. And, again, not a doctor, not a nurse, no medical anything. I'm just pregnant. And I know how I did it. So, well, we did it. So good luck and congratulations to anybody this worked for. I'm happy for you. God bless. Till the next video. Bye.